Hi, and welcome to the Thrive Alcohol-Free podcast. I'm Dupe Witherick, alcohol-free well-being and transformational coach, and the best-selling author of A Cocktail of Clarity, How to Ditch Drinking, Embody a Joyful New Identity, and Thrive Alcohol-Free. This podcast will show you that being alcohol-free is not what the traditional narrative says. And even though alcohol is so ingrained in our society that it is okay to give yourself permission to stop drinking if you want to. And you do not have to wait until you hit rock bottom. It is certainly not boring, and I believe ditching drinking is just the start to living an extraordinary life. By getting rid of this one thing, it allows the doors to open to endless possibilities and opportunities. Each week, we will have guests on who are at various stages of the alcohol-free journey, from those who are curious to those who have been alcohol-free for years. We will also have experts on talking about different topics relating to alcohol and beyond. Through these conversations, you will discover what it means to thrive alcohol-free. Enjoy. Hi, and welcome to the latest episode of the Thrive Alcohol Free podcast. I'm so pleased you're here. And can you believe that this is episode 80? We have had 80 episodes of the Thrive Alcohol Free podcast, and I'm so excited. And I am so grateful for you for listening and for sticking with us. And so many of you have listened to most of the episode, if not all of the 80 episodes. And it's wonderful to have people listening from all over the world as well. And it was interesting. I was speaking to someone the other day and saying that it was the 80th episode of this podcast. And she said that 90% of people give up after only 3 episodes, and the remaining 90% give up after 20 episodes. So to get to 80, which is 4 times the amount, I'm feeling pretty good about that. So I hope you found the episodes helpful and informative and insightful. And I'm really grateful for all the amazing guests that I've had on. It's interesting because this week we've had the Sober Summit start, and Sobriety is the New Epic, which is a new summit that I am speaking at, and I'm on next week on the 2nd of May with Janet Garond, who's going to be speaking on the same day. And it's interesting because as I was going through both of those summits, and I know Maggie really well, and then Sarah Tracy was on last week's episode, so go and listen to that if you want to hear a bit more about Sobriety is the New Epic. But I was thinking, gosh, there were quite a few speakers in both of those summits who have been guests on the podcast. And so if you want to go back, some of them were early days, and Maggie Carson's, who actually created the Sober Summit, she was on very early on in our podcast, I think like episode 9 or something, and talked about the Sober Summit and where the idea came from. And then Sarah, again, last week talked about that. And we've had people like Andy Ramage, Karolina Jadkowalska, Hadley Sorensen, Sober Yoga Girl, Alex McRobert. We've had Raymond Donovan Goulburn, Ken Middleton McKimsey. There have been so many guests who have just been incredible. And so I'm very grateful for those. And as I said, if you have enjoyed the Thrive Alcohol Free podcast, I'd love it if you could subscribe, share it with a friend, and share your favourite episodes. And I'd love to hear from you as the listener. So I really value you being here and listening, and I'd love to hear maybe what's your favourite episode so far, which one has really resonated with you, who's been your favourite guest. As you know, I always ask, what does thriving alcohol-free mean to you? And I love the answers that I get. So maybe you've got a favourite, what does thriving alcohol-free mean to you? I'd love to hear. Send me a message on Instagram at Thrive Alcohol Free, or feel free to get in touch via email. So this episode, I thought I'd do a solo episode. I really wanted to talk about a lot of my clients recently. We've been talking about what they really want to do. So when clients come to see me and speak to me and want to work with me, a lot of them want to set a goal, or they want to either stop drinking, or they're curious about human design, or they want to look at where they are in the corporate world, whether they want to go for a promotion or look to change careers completely. So I work on lots of different topics, and recently quite a few have been coming to me with, I'd like to do something different. I feel like there's something in the air that people are really reflecting on where they are. And I think it happens in your 40s, maybe. It's late 30s, 40s. You start to think about purpose a bit more, doing something a bit more fulfilling. And then our brain says to us, well, we can't do that, or the dream that we've really had on our heart of so many years, and we truly believe we probably would love to do it. We say, well, what would people think? Or people have said to us before that it's impossible, it's a really tough thing to do, or not many people succeed at this thing. And we can limit ourselves. And a lot of the time, it's fear that's driving us. It's fear, it's conditioning, it's thought patterns that we've been told or we've learnt. It's what society says. A little bit like with drinking as well, because with drinking, a lot of the time we say, well, we can't possibly stop drinking because society says you only stop drinking if you hit rock bottom, or as an adult, you need to be a drinker. And why would you not drink? And it's sociable, it helps you relax, it tastes good. I've heard all the reasons why you wouldn't want to stop drinking. And so all this is our subconscious mind. 95% of what we do is run on our subconscious mind. We tend to repeat the same thoughts in our heads over and over again until we actually break those thoughts. And so each day we actually have the opportunity to really define our own model of reality, but we have to consciously think about doing it and breaking it. And what I mean by that is that we have access to millions and millions of bits of information. Our subconscious mind has access to millions and millions of bits of information every single moment. At every single moment, we can access so many things, but consciously, we can only access 40 bits of information. So we then automatically go to the same thing. And we find that based on our programming, which would have happened between the ages of 0 and 7, we will automatically either generalize, delete, or distort information that comes through. And that's how we cope as humans, because otherwise it would be so overwhelming if we had access to all that information. I mean, it just wouldn't work. And so if you think about trees, if you see a load of trees, our brain wouldn't be saying, well, that's the leaf of that tree, and that's the leaf of that tree, and this is an oak tree, and this is a beech tree. We just group it and generalize it as these are a load of trees that are here. And then things that we're not interested in, we just delete. So if you think about the way our reticular activating system works, where when we don't think about something or not conscious about something, even though it's there, we might not notice it. So the example I give is, if you suddenly say you want to go and buy a car, you might find that you see that model of the car everywhere. It's everywhere. You just see it. And before you hadn't seen it because you hadn't really said to your brain that was something you were interested in. So our brain goes to work when we sort of guide it. And the other thing that I just love, and I think is so helpful for people to really understand, other than the deleting, distorting, and generalizing, actually thinking about what it is we want. And the way I see the world is very different to the way you see the world based on the experiences I've had. So another example is that we use our senses and we also see things. And the way I see something might be completely different to the way you see it. So for example, if you enjoyed swimming when you were younger, then when you see a swimming pool, you'll be like, oh my goodness, it's so hot, it's amazing, let me jump in the pool, I love it. But if you had a negative experience at the swimming pool, maybe you got into trouble in a pool, or you just didn't like it, or you'd never learned to swim, you might actually see that pool and see it very differently. You might be quite afraid of that pool. You might think it's dangerous. You might feel like it's something you just don't want to go near. And these are all things that we over the years have created for ourselves. And so when people come to me and say, oh, I can't do this, or I'd love to do this, but that's not reality, that isn't something I can do, the first thing I say is, anything you desire wants you. Otherwise, you wouldn't have come up with it. Everything starts as a thought, and we can create anything we desire. It's waiting for us on the other side of fear, generally, on the other side of our comfort zone. And the other thing I suggest is that actually we have access to anything we want to do as well, and we can find the answers to things as well. And we just need to set our brain in a different motion. And we need to start, and our brain's very neuroplasticity. Our brain is very malleable as long as we guide it in the right way. And so the other cool thing that I love to talk about is a radio. So if you remember the old radios where you would turn the dial and go to different stations, and so on one station you'll have pop, on another station you'd have classical, and you'll turn it, and you eventually get to what you want to listen to. So let's say you like, I don't know, jazz music, and you're listening to jazz music, but that doesn't mean the classical music isn't playing somewhere else. That doesn't mean that the pop isn't playing somewhere else. You can actually access that if you wanted to, but you're choosing to access the jazz. And similarly, we have access to, as I said, millions of bits of information. And it's what we're dialed into, it's what we're energetically wanting, it's what we really are saying that we want to go after and we want to do. But it's all there waiting for us, it's all there in plain sight. And so if you have been thinking about something you wanted to do and you've really turned yourself off it, the likelihood is there's a fear, there's a limiting belief, there's something that you've learned along the way that you would need to work through. And that's what I do with my coaching. The other thing that I think is really interesting is that we are so sure that what is, and we always go after a goal and we always think we want the outcome. And I like to compare it to, it's the London Marathon this weekend, and it's the 45th London Marathon. And I was really fortunate. I say fortunate, I'm sure people would think I was crazy. But for me, I was really fortunate. I ran the London Marathon last year and the year before, so 23 and 24. Unfortunately, I'm not running it this year, which is interesting because it's the 45th year and it's my 45th birthday on Wednesday. So I would have run the marathon 3 days before my 45th birthday. But there we go. Didn't happen. I'm in Marrakesh at the moment, so that's fine. And I've lost my train of thought. But basically what we end up doing is we focus on the outcome. We focus on the outcome. We don't really look at the journey. And actually the journey is the most important thing. And a lot of the times we say we want this, we want the nice car, we want the big house, or we want a different career, or we want this. And ultimately, it's not about that outcome. The journey is the most exciting part. That's the process. That's the piece where we grow as people. And actually, as humans, one of the key things we want to do is grow and learn and become. But also, the outcome that we're seeking is not the actual physical outcome. We've all grown up with lots of stuff. I'm going to digress a bit. I watched a really interesting documentary on Netflix, and it was all about the amount of things we recycle, sustainable fashion, and just the amount of waste really that's out there. And we say that we throw things away, we recycle things, and actually, where is away? Is away is actually somewhere on the planet. And it was a really interesting documentary. It showed that, you know, tons of plastic and clothes and various things had just been sent to different countries for them to sort out. And we just think away and we think about things like that. But the outcome that we're looking for isn't actually the outcome. It's not the thing. It's not the pile of stuff that we want. It's not the pile of stuff that we end up throwing away. What we want is the feeling that it creates. And so when we end up saying we want this goal, we want that goal, we want this outcome, in order for us to eventually get there, we need to enjoy the journey along the way. And the best way to do that is to really think about what are the feelings that you want to create from that outcome? What are the feelings that you want to get from that outcome? Because actually, what you'll find is when you say, I want this or I want that, you actually want the feeling it creates. You don't want the actual thing. And with that, that helps you with your journey to get to wherever you want to be, because you can create that feeling now. You can wake up every morning and you can say, what feeling do I want to create? How do I want to feel today? What do I want to choose? How do I want to choose to feel today? So, similarly to picking out your clothes, you can pick out your feelings, and you can actually say at the beginning of the day, I want to feel joy, or I want to feel peace, or I want to feel freedom, or I want to feel whatever it is you want to feel. And then you can say, well, what does that feel like? What does that look like? What is that? And then how can I actually create that today? And we have choice. We can absolutely be loving our lives and enjoying every moment now without actually getting the outcome. As I said, it's not the outcome that we're looking for, it's the feeling that we're trying to create. And if we can do that, and if we can realize that everything is hidden in plain sight, we can turn the radio and start to think about our thoughts and how we sort of move our thoughts into what we want to see, so that actually when we are generalizing, distorting, deleting information, we're deleting the right information and we're holding on to the bits of information we want to hold on to, those 40 bits of information that we want. The world is our oyster. And then when you know things like human design, where you're able to then really think about how best to use your energy, how to sort of move through the world with least resistance, how to use your authority to start helping you make decisions, how do you know whether or not you're in the right place or the wrong place based on what you're feeling? How do you know the character that you're meant to play in the world? And just how do you really go through the world with ease? Learning your human design as well is a really fun way of just getting to know yourself and putting it all together, remembering that your brain is able to mold and flex, and that we have the power within us to create anything we want to create, and our desires want us. And so I just wanted to give you hope today. If you have been at a point where you've been thinking, gosh, I'm really feel a bit stuck. I'm wanting to do something different, but I just haven't been able to shift the dial, and it feels like I'm having the same thoughts, and I'm waking up the next day and it's Groundhog Day and I'm feeling like everything is just hard work, or it's not going in the direction that I want it to go in, then I hope some of that was helpful and resonated, and I'd love to hear from you. And so that's what I do. And so I really wanted to share with you, if you're new to my world, I'm Dupe Witherick. I am a mindset and success coach specializing in the alcohol-free lifestyle. I'm also a human design consultant. I am also obviously a podcast host. I'm the author of A Cocktail of Clarity, How to Ditch Drinking, Embody a Joyful New Identity, and Thrive Alcohol-Free. And I'm the host of the Finding Freedom Retreat in Bali as well, which is happening in June 2025. So in a couple of months, less than a couple of months, the 5th of June to the 12th of June, 2025. So if you're new to my world, or if you've been quietly watching and waiting for a sign, this is it. And I really wanted to take this opportunity as well to just tell you how we could work together if you are looking to unlock your next chapter. So if you're just getting started and you are thinking you've been curious about becoming alcohol free, you're thinking maybe you want to take a break, and you need some powerful structure and support, then I'd really recommend the Aligned and Alcohol Free 21-day challenge, which is your daily dose of clarity, connection, and momentum. And it's a one of a kind challenge. I haven't seen this anywhere. It combines alcohol free coaching with human design wisdom and insights, which is really going to help you to understand yourself a bit better, as well as obviously take that 21 days alcohol free and see how you feel, but really leave with a whole new identity. And so I'm really excited for this. I've been doing the 21-day challenge for quite a while now, but this is the first time we're merging human design elements so that you can really go on that journey in a way that's aligned to you. And one of the things that's helpful in human design is understanding your splenic center, because there are 7 fears within the splenic center. And so if you understand those fears, that can also help you on your journey, because you might be holding yourself back because of these different fears. And so during this 21 days, I'm going to go through your type and your strategy and your authority, but I'm also going to go through these common fears, and then we'll come up with some strategies and affirmations that can help you along the way. We'll also look at your definitions and how that can help you with your alcohol-free journey. We'll look at your profile to see whether you've got a specific style when it comes to learning, growing, and going on this transformational journey. And of course, we'll look at the authority and how best to make decisions. And that will really help you in sort of social circles and when you get asked about going to different events and what to do with that. So it's a really exciting 21 days, and I'm really proud of this. It's going to be an amazing 21 days. We start on the 5th of May, and if you're really looking to better understand yourself, stop drinking and see what that's like for 21 days, if you want to have a group of women around you who can inspire and help you, then this is the challenge for you. And it's really for you if you're a high achieving, heart led woman who's feeling the nudge to explore life without alcohol. If you're tired of waking up with regret and asking yourself, why did I drink again? You're ready for more clarity, more calm, more connection with yourself. And if you're curious about becoming alcohol free, if you're newly alcohol free, or if you just need a reset that actually sticks, then I encourage you to join the challenge. And so that's the first thing. That's the aligned and alcohol free 21-day challenge. And if any of that resonates, I'd love you to sign up. I'm going to put the details below for you to get all the information that you need for that. The other way to work with me is if you want to go deeper and lead your life like you mean it, then the 30 Days to Erase is a high touch one-to-one coaching experience for women who are done playing small. We're going to break through the noise that you have, we're going to reset your inner compass and really help you show up for the life that you actually want. You know, this is for someone who really wants to go a bit deeper. It's a 1-month, one-to-one coaching intensive. And again, this is just really exciting. It's going to help you break free from those external validations and conditioning and learn tools that help you gain the confidence to go after the thing that you've been wanting to achieve. So, do you want to get a promotion? Do you want to move to a different company? Do you want to take on more responsibility? Is there something that you've been wanting to do for such a long time, but you've not taken that step to do it and you keep stopping yourself? Then it's a 4-week coaching intensive. And so you'll have 4 one-to-one sessions. And week 1, you'll really get clear on what you want and why. And you'll learn about the subconscious mind. We'll go a bit deeper into how the subconscious mind works and how we can get it to work for you. And then week 2, we're going to reclaim your self-worth from the inside out. So we're going to identify those beliefs that are holding you back. We're going to recognize that your true inherent value is way beyond any achievement. We're going to help you rebuild the trust within yourself and learn daily practices to cultivate inner validation and build self-trust. Then week 3, we'll be looking to embody authentic leadership. So you'll be able to see that actually leadership is not about the title, it's about who you are. And it's really shifting from proving to actually leading with confidence. And this is where we'll also go into your human design and look at that from a leadership perspective. So you effortlessly lead. And then week 4 is all about cultivating unshakable confidence and boundaries, setting those boundaries, stopping people pleasing, letting go of those old stories that are keeping you small, and making decisions that are going to serve the future you. And for me, it's all about identity. Everything we do is about identity. Once we can actually step into the identity of who we want to be, everything else comes. So the behaviors comes, the habits and everything else. And one of the things with this 30 Days to Erase intensive is that there is an optional bonus. If you want to explore being alcohol free along the way, then you'll also get daily emails to motivate and inspire you, which have practical tools and resources to help you easily take that break from alcohol. So by the end of it, you'll have the confidence to go after that promotion, start the job, basically do something completely different, or finally just go after that thing that you wanted for so long. So I'm really, really excited for the women who are doing this at the moment and who will be joining. And if that sounds like something you want to do, then I'd love to have a conversation. And then finally, if you are looking to get that full reset, that total soul reset, if you are ready for that, then the Finding Freedom Retreat in Bali might just be the thing you didn't know you were waiting for. Think rainforest. We're going to be in Ubud, so it's an amazingly sort of tropical place. Think deep healing, next level breakthroughs, all in one lush, unforgettable week. And it's just going to be the most life-changing, incredible event. And you will come home changed. You won't be the same when you get home. And not only are we going to be doing daily yoga and go on fabulous excursions and activities, we're going to be doing various healing ceremonies. We've got sound baths, we've got clarity breath work. We're going to then be doing daily coaching. I will be leading you in daily transformational coaching. We'll also have daily women's circles. It's going to open you up completely and just help you let go of anything that might have been holding you back so that you can fully step into your power. And the sessions for the coaching that we'll be doing are we're going to have 7 sessions. We're going to start with the purpose and identity. As I said, identity is a key piece. We're then going to go into what's holding you back, areas where you're struggling, identify your core values, embrace those emotions, reflect and set goals, and then really embody your thriving future. It's going to be just the best experience. And if you're ready to explore what you truly desire in life within an alcohol-free setting, it's an alcohol-free retreat, and you'd like to do that with authentic connections with other like-minded women, then this retreat is for you. It's absolutely going to take you out of your comfort zone, but it's going to give you the opportunity to really immerse into a journey of discovering the unique you. We're going to have some human design weaved in as well as you would expect, and it's going to be amazing. The investment in the retreat covers your 7 nights accommodation in luxurious air-conditioned private deluxe room. I visited the retreat last year. I was there in July last year, and it's a stunning space. And I can't wait to go back, and everyone was really friendly. And then you'll be met at the airport with private transfers. And then, as I said, you get all your retreat activities, transportations to and from all the activities, and then pretty much all your meals apart from 3 lunches. The food's just so nourishing and delicious, and it's going to support you on your transformation journey as well. And so they're the 3 offers that I just wanted to highlight in case you weren't aware that there are ways you can work with me. And of course, for the Finding Freedom retreat, there are only the last couple of spots left. So if you are keen to do that, I would encourage you to book on that ASAP. And then for the Aligned and Alcohol Free 21-day challenge, we start that on the 5th of May. So that's in just under 2 weeks. And finally, for the one-to-one intensive, I only take on so many one-to-ones at a time, so I can really focus on the women that I work with. So if that's something you're keen to do, I would encourage you to sign up as soon as you can, just to make sure that you get your spot to do that as well. So this was a different episode. I really felt like I needed to share with you the subconscious mind and the fact that you can create any reality that you want to create. And I also wanted to celebrate with you that this is the 80th episode. And so thank you again, as I said, for listening and for being part of the Thrive Alcohol Free community. I do appreciate you. If you have any questions, if you would like me to feature any specific guests We have got some exciting guests coming up in the near future. And but if there's anyone you'd like me to feature, then let me know. If you'd like to see something different, if you'd like me to do more of these solo episodes, I'd love to hear your feedback as well. And in the meantime, I just hope that you maybe go back to your favourite episode and listen to that, or look up a person that you might have seen on the Sober Summit or Sobriety is the New Epic, and go and check out the episode that they would have been on the Thrive Alcohol Free podcast. There's so many resources here for you to go into. The episodes are full of wisdom and tips and tricks and just amazing stories. And so I really want you to make the most of it. Okay, well, that's the end of this episode, and I look forward to celebrating 100 episodes in the near future. Thank you for being part of this, and have the most amazing week. Take care. Bye. Thank you so much for listening to the Thrive Alcohol Free podcast. If you enjoyed the episode, please subscribe so you get alerted every time I drop a new episode. I'd love it if you could rate, review, and share this episode. Feel free to tag me on Instagram at Thrive Alcohol Free and follow me for daily tips. If you would like to work with me, I offer one-to-one coaching and have my group coaching program. If you're not yet ready for coaching, I also have a self-paced online course, which is a companion to my book, A Cocktail of Clarity. All the links are in the show notes. I will see you in the next episode. Have a wonderful week. Take care.